Last week, I put out a video showing you this. They're just popping in and out. Ugh. There is 1,000 bugs in there. Whoa. No wonder it wouldn't start. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning back into Chickanic. Hope everybody's having a great week. Yeah, I still got her in the shop. Do you think I would have fixed her without letting y'all come along on this repair? Oh no. The most common comment I got after I put out that video is, did you fix it? Well, of course we're going to, but I had to let you come along. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of saving time, money, and frustration while fixing your own small engine equipment while watching in-depth tutorials, you've come to the right place because that's what I do. I upload a couple times a week, and if that sounds interesting, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell, and please leave a comment. I love to read through the comments, and I will reply to all the early commenters. Okay, so this thing is exactly the same as we left it the other day. The rewind is off of it. I will take you in and show you all the bug goo inside and around the flywheel. We do have the overhead valve cover off. The push rods are removed, air filters removed, gas tanks removed, just so I can get to this head, remove it, and show you all the carnage. Now, one of the top comments I also got was, did we remove the exhaust and see if they were inside there? That we did not, so let's do this together. I'm going to break out my magnetic nut drivers. If you have not gotten these yet, I love mine. I will leave them in the description box below, or they're at my Amazon store. They come in standard or metric, and they're also magnetic. Well, after looking in there, there is only one earwig in the exhaust. Since I am tearing this whole thing apart pretty much, I'm going to go ahead and clean the carburetor out because I don't know how long this thing sat for. Alright, got all the peripherals off. Let's remove this head. It's time for the money shot. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh. Gross. Wish y'all could smell the smell that's coming off of this. That's just crazy. Yeah, I don't think that's the earwig maggots. I believe that the flies are in here now since there's so much death inside of this mower. Okie dokie. So, I've got my ultrasonic cleaner heated up. I'm gonna throw this head in there. First, I want to remove the valves. I can leave the rocker arms on there. So I'm gonna do that. Get all these bugs cleaned off, remove the old head gasket, clean the carburetor. Yeah, let's go. So the carburetor looks pretty clean. I'm gonna go ahead, I already popped the jet out. Gonna pop this needle out. And you know what? In the beginning, when these first came out, I was really a sourpuss and was not happy with having plastic carburetors. But the truth is, they don't corrode at all. Okay, they do warp. Some of them do, but they don't ever corrode. So I mean, that is a bonus. This thing is pretty spotless. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a spray down its needle hole. I'm gonna go through every little orifice I can with the jet and where the jet sits inside the carburetor. I'm just gonna give it a good spraying. So now that I got this carburetor knocked out, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that head and start lapping the valves because we gotta make sure that they're still seated correctly. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start with the intake. I did oil it up just a little bit to slide it through here. I got my 320 grit fine lapping compound, and I'm just gonna grab a little bit here and rub it along the edge. Stick it on down in here. And these are pretty easy. I don't need a tool to do this. I can just grab it from the other end and twist. All right, we've got our valves done, and I did clean the compound off. I can go ahead and put my valve springs back on. These are the same, so it doesn't matter which one goes on which. When you put it back in, now you do not need a special tool for this one, like bigger machines. You just use your thumbs and you just make sure that it gets inside that little slot right there. So we're going to come on down, push. There we go. It would help if I had the valve up. Hold on. Here we go. Just like that. Get this rocker arm out of the way. Other one. Just go on down. Just like that. And we can put our caps on. Ooh, pause for just a second. It's getting dark. I don't know if you can see the storms coming in from that way. It just got real windy for a second. Those clouds are rolling. Hopefully I can get this finished. All right, so full disclosure here. We're fixing to put all this back together and it needs a new head gasket. Now the head gasket that it calls for is a 799586, which I accidentally do not have today for this repair, but I want to get it running and I want to show y'all. So what I'm going to do, and just because it looks a little different, I want to let you know, I have the 592358. Now I believe this is the one for a slightly bigger CC power one because the piston is slightly bigger on this one, but it fits just fine. It's going to work just fine. The bolt holes line up exactly the same. So yeah, it's going to work. All right, wind is kicking, so sorry if you hear that a little bit. Now I went ahead and put my head gasket on with my bolt, so just so I can have everything lined up. Do not use a power tool, okay? No power tool. We don't want to be stripping nothing out. Get our bolts started there. Now, in all honesty, in real shop world, what's Terrell say about all this machinery? That it's not rocket science, or they're not rockets. When you're putting the head back on, the bolt specs, tight, okay? But we're gonna do it by the book because I know some of you want to know how to do it. So it's 140 inch-pounds, and when you do it, you're just gonna crisscross, no matter which way you start, top, left, bottom right, and so forth. So we're going to start to wrench them down evenly, and then we'll get down to torquing. Okay, now that we got the head back on, we can put our rods back in. Now, on the bigger Briggs, they might be different. One might be steel and one might be aluminum. On these ones, they're exactly the same, and there is no up and down to them. Doesn't matter which way you put them back in. Now, you're not going to really be able to see. I can get my flashlight and I can see where it's going to sit on the lifter once it goes into the engine. I can't really bring the camera in there, but you're going to want to do that. Get your camera out, or get your flashlight out and look and see where you want it to hit. And then I'll show you after I put them in if they're seated correctly.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh man, you know, just living the dream.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, living the.
Okay, so you want to move the engine, have somebody pull the bail for you. Move the engine around until you get your rod at its low point. Oop, came out of its spot there. And we're gonna have to push down on the valve as we bring it up over that rod, just like that. Now we'll get the next one. I'm gonna make it go down. Now, to adjust our valves, they're probably going to be fine because I never messed with them when we were taking it apart. They're still set exactly where they were. If you are going to adjust your valves, though, they need to be set from 4 to 8 thousandths. So I've got 5 thousandths here. Whenever you might get too loud raining, you're going to turn the engine until just hold on a second. Well, it is what it is. I just got to get closer to the camera so you can hear me. Now, you're going to turn the engine until one is pressed all the way down. That way we can adjust the other one. And you just get in between here. Make sure you feel a little bit of resistance, but where you can still move it in and out quite freely. And you know it's set good. Then we're going to turn, let that one come up. This one's going to go all the way down. Now we can check this one. Get in your hole. Yeah, that one's sort of good. It's a little tight, but not really that bad. Okay, to adjust, you need your 8mm nut driver. See, not going through, and we're just going to come out a smidge, like that's it. That's all it needed, like an 1/8 of a turn, and we're good. Okay, since it's raining, I'm going to throw this thing back together, and while I do it, let y'all listen to some ambient background music. All right, last step is the plug. And yes, I gotta clean all of those bug guts out of the spark plug still, but it's a brand new plug, so I'm using it. This is sort of crazy. how much goo is down in there like that. I mean, we only pulled it a couple times with this plug in there, and wow, that is a lot of guts. Now, surprisingly though, this thing has like brand new oil in it, and it's perfectly filled as much as it should be. All right, time for the money shot. Y'all think she's gonna run? I do. This one has a primer. Give her a good prime. Cross her fingers. Come on. Oh. Down now, but it's funny, it smells like roasted bugs. So guys, thanks to all of you that hung around this whole video. Hopefully this video saved you time, money, and frustration in the future. So if you find yourself coming back over and over again, think about hitting that subscribe button, and if you ain't tired of me yet, check this video out right here.